As one of the longest standing nameplates in the Mercedes-Benz lineup, the E-Class is a true icon. Anoraks like myself have high regard for generations like the W123 and W124, which forge a reputation for unwavering reliability and outstanding build quality. The fact that there are so many examples of these cars on South African roads today bears testament to that. We have to begin by addressing the elephant in the room. There is very little to distinguish this new model from a C-Class or even an S-Class, sharing the same basic styling cues, albeit adapted to a different body length. Versus the old one, this is 43mm longer. Of course, there are merits for this play-it-safe approach. Resale values are unlikely to be hit too hard when the inevitable life cycle improvement arrives in a few years. But really, Mercedes-Benz, would it have hurt to offer just a bit more distinction in the aesthetic department? In fairness, we could level the same criticism at Audi for this similar one-size-fits-all design tactic, although it seems to have worked rather well for them. Perhaps we need to look a little deeper to find the marvelous intricacies of the new E-Class. Hopping inside, the newcomer offers an ambience closer to that of the flagship S-Class. You get swoopy cabin architecture, an analog clock and a massive tablet-like screen stuck to the fascia. On some models, this also extends to double up as a fully digitized driver instrument panel. Fancy. And take a look at this. The control buttons on the steering wheel respond to horizontal and vertical swiping movements, as if you are using a smartphone. A bit gimmicky, I guess, but something to boast about nonetheless. What is assuring for me is the perceived quality of the thing. In lesser offerings like the A-Class and the C-Class, you can spot cost cutting here and there with some of the plastics and materials used. But that's not the case here. There are 3 derivatives available from launch, 1 petrol and 2 diesels. The entry point is the E200 with 135 kilowatts and 300 newton meters of torque, followed by the E220D with 143 kilowatts and 400 newton meters of torque, and headlining the range is the E350D, serving up 190 kilowatts and a substantial 620 newton meters of torque. A 9-speed automatic transmission does duty in all these models. In time, there will be other options, including a hybrid and, of course, those beastly AMG fettled models. Steel suspension is standard, but you can specify air body control, which is Mercedes-Benz speak for air suspension, and that costs an extra 29,000 Rand. But for a truly effortless driving experience, you might as well go along and opt for the Driving Assistance Plus package for 41,000 Rand, and that virtually enables the E-Class to drive itself. Yes, I know, it's not cutting-edge stuff. I mean, you first saw it on the S-Class, and you can have a similar system on the Volvo XC90 nowadays, but the novelty factor is huge. Right now, I have Drive Pilot mode engaged. I have a light grip on the wheel and I can feel it doing its thing around gentle sweeps. If I take my hands off, a warning chime sounds, and if those hands come off for longer than 60 seconds, the car will slow down to a halt in the assumption that I've fallen asleep at the wheel. So what is the E-Class like when you take the reins fully? As you would expect, it moves along with great decorum. It is quiet and soothing. Maybe not as enthralling as something like a BMW 5 Series or Jaguar XF, but I suppose driver engagement is a moot point in this segment anyway. It claims to be a super refined executive saloon, and that is exactly what it is. No doubt this is an accomplished car that brings a raft of new technologies to the segment. But be sure to budget extra if you want the best representative of the range with all the good stuff.